How's it going, guys? Cody, guys, back again, dropping yet another video. Right, guys, as you can see from the title of this video, this vlog is going to be on the Ministry of Justice safer in custody figures that are released every year for the previous year, because obviously they've got to compile the statistics up and down the prisons in England and Wales, from your Cat A's down to your Cat D's, and then obviously once it's been all collected, they go through it, they break it down, and then they release it the following year. So in 2019 we'll get it, the results for 2018, 2020 we'll get it for 2019, just to break it down for you guys. Right, guys, so as a former prisoner, I'm going to read this story out, and then I'm going to give you my my thoughts and stuff, and we'll go from there. Right, guys, so it states here, while the Justice Secretary David Gork says urgent action is being taken, campaigners say reducing the prison population would save lives. It's common sense, but unfortunately the common sense that would save prisoners' lives evades the Justice Secretary and the Ministry of Justice. The number of assaults in English and Welsh prisons increased by more than 10% last year, as campaigners say the prison system is in crisis. In crisis, it's beyond fucking words what the state of prisons, guys. It really, really is. Unfortunately, though, we're not on the government's agenda. They want to lock us up and throw away the key. Right, so it states here, guys, in total, there were 29,485 incidents last year, a rise of 13% on 2016, Ministry of Justice figures show. When the figures are broken down, they show there were 8,429 assaults on prison staff in the 12 months to December, a year-on-year rise of 23%. So from December 2016 to December 2017, there was a rise, an increase in violence of 23% on prison officers. Now, I don't condone attacks on prison officers, but I've got to level it out. I understand why they happen. There are certain screws that get the comeuppance because they like to twist lads up, they like to show their power, and they're just sadistic old school screws. Other screws get attacked because we attack the uniform, that they're actually decent people. You get a lot of decent screws in prison, guys, and I've got a lot of you might not like hearing that, but there are a lot of decent screws in prison. Anyone that's been in prison will know what I'm talking about. I've got nothing positive to say about HMP screws, but for private prisons, Forest Bank, where I was, staff were absolutely spot on, minus one or two. But like I say, we attack the uniform that's in front of us, frustration, anger, mental health, things like that, guys. It goes on. Broken down further, it means that 23 attacks on prison staff are recorded every day. Again, you've got to, doesn't sound like 23 attacks, it doesn't sound like many, does it, a day? But you've got to break it down. Prisoners are getting out for less time, and we're seeing record numbers of assaults year on year, from prisoner to prisoner and prisoner to prison officer. The one thing that doesn't get collated, guys, is the attacks and twisting ups of prison officers to prisoners. That's what doesn't get collected in these statistics, guys, because that would take it up further. But they get brushed under the carpet, you know what I'm saying? Right, guys, of the attacks on officers, 864 were classed as serious. They include those which result in fractures, burns, or extensive bruising. Now, I've spoken to, there was a prison officer at my last prison at Forest Bank, run by Sodexo Justice Services. He was attacked at the top of the stairs. He nearly died, this guy. Proper, decent guy. Not a bully. It was a job. He didn't take his job too serious. Really good guy. And he nearly died, guys. It's a very dangerous job. I don't think there's a more unattractive job in the world than being a prison officer at the moment here in the UK. Because, like I say, for 9 weeks training, it doesn't fully prepare you for what takes place on the landings and stuff. The only way that you could be qualified to do the job is if you'd previously worked with self-harmers, or if you worked in a funeral home, because the fact is, unfortunately, you're going to be dealing with deaths and suicides and suicide attempts, self-harm, mental health. Sadly, that's just the realisation of the prison situation, guys. The number of assaults on staff in the final 3 months of 2017 was 2,327, the highest quarterly total on record. So for any quarterly total, that's the highest one ever recorded, 2,327 in a 3-month period, guys. But the Ministry of Justice said, well, wait for this. The Ministry of Justice said the way in which we record such assaults has changed. That may have contributed to the riots. Now, it's a load of bullshit. They're trying to bring the figures down. They're trying to say, oh, this is why it's so high, right? Because they're trying to play it down, right? Simple, you can't play it down. It is what it is. Prisoner-on-prisoner assaults in 2017 were up 11% to 21,270. In terms of self-harm, and I don't like this, guys, prison numbers are about 86,000, yeah. In terms of self-harm, there were 44,651 incidents among inmates last year, up 11% on 2016. Now, that doesn't mean that 44,651 prisoners have self-harmed. You have prisoners that slash up repeatedly and stuff. Now, that's not to be laughed at. It's really, really concerning, guys. And like I say, unfortunately, having do these vlogs and stuff like that and keep my ear to the ground, reference these statistics and figures when they come out, that is very, very alarming, very scary stuff. Some people might do little nicks, but I've seen a lot of self-harmers that are they butchered tendons and stuff and severed arteries and stuff and nearly bled out. Scary, scary. You've got to look at that. It's pure mental health issues, frustration, anger, swapping the emotional pain for physical pain. And like I say, it's a sad state of affairs and stuff. The simple fact is, guys, that prisons are cheap alternatives to psychiatric units. Now, to be in prison, it's about £40,000 a year to the taxpayer. If you look at psychiatric units, depending on the how high the security is, whether it's a medium to high or medium to low or high security like Ashworth, Rampton or Broadmoor, you're talking 250, 300, 350,000. Obviously, Ian Brady, that I used to write to, he stated in a letter it was about £350,000 a year. So obviously, prisons are used as cheap alternatives to psychiatric units, guys. It's as simple as that. Let me know what you think, guys. Comment in the comment section below. There were 299 deaths in prison custody in the year to March, down 13% year on year. Now, that includes people that have died of like self-inflicted deaths, obviously. So obviously you're talking suicides and stuff. Also includes people that have died by natural causes, right? Then they give a further breakdown, guys. I'll give it, the number of self-inflicted deaths fell from 115 to 69. This was until March last year. So my honest assessment, guys, by the time these figures are released this time next year, I'm sorry to say that I believe the number of suicides within prisons will be the highest ever recorded. I genuinely do believe that. I hope it's not the case, but unfortunately, prisons are full of death, misery and despair. It's as simple as that. Frances Crook, the chief executive of the Howard League of Penal Reform, this is a lady that campaigns for young offenders, for prisoners, trying to improve conditions, treatment, and is trying to get the prison numbers down. She holds a very powerful lady. She follows me on Twitter. I've interacted with her a few times. She's an absolute sweetheart. I've not had the pleasure of meeting her. Hopefully one day that will happen. But she goes on to say this. Describe the figures as a symptom of a prison system in crisis. She added, ultimately, positive steps to reduce the prison population would save lives, protect staff, and stop others being swept into deeper currents of crime, violence, and despair. The Justice Secretary, David Gauke, said urgent action has been taken to address levels of violence, suicide, and self-harm, which he admitted were too high. No shit, Sherlock. He added, assaults on our hard-working staff will not be tolerated. Now, that angers me a great deal. Right. He added, just read that again, guys. He added, assaults on our hard-working staff will not be tolerated. Right, now, prisoners are locked up, they're frustrated, they're angry, right? They've got mental health issues, the harshness of the regimes and stuff like that, and the treatment and conditions, the food, everything, right? And then they take smoking from prisoners. The Prison Officers Association, guys, by the way, right, they lobbied for the smoking ban. In my opinion, they lobbied for the smoking ban, knowing that the prison system will kick off. They would then use that violence to say we feel scared to go into work, and then they threaten banned industrial action if they didn't get parva spray and stuff like that. So they asked for it, and then they're threatening banned industrial action, right, when they get what they want. And I think that they use the violence that the smoking ban It's definitely caused an increase too, to try and get their weapons and stuff like that, so they can arm prison officers. That will then breed, in my opinion, personally, as a former prisoner, I think it'll breed violence with violence. I think if they think that prisoners are going to back down and stuff because of some parva spray and some body cameras, very stupid people. They don't give a shit. And like I say, we're angry at the system, but we attack the uniform that we see in front of us. Again, don't condone attacks on prison officers, but I understand why they happen. Right, so it says here, we are ensuring prison officers have the tools they need to do the job, rolling out body-worn cameras. By the way, they turn them off. If they're about to give a prisoner a kick-in, they don't turn them on. And if you turn them on by accident, security clear them. How do I know this? Because a prison officer that I got on very well with, right, told me this at Forest Bank Prison. He rings up security, has a word, and they just wipe the footage and stuff. But if it's a prisoner attacking a prison officer during a psychotic episode or something, they're filming that and then they all twist him up. It's not, see, this is the thing, I'm trying to break down the fact that it looks like prisoners are violent thugs and stuff from this. You've got to look at why they're fighting back. You've got to look at why they're kicking off. Smoking ban, mental health, treatment conditions, regimes. It just goes on, guys, right? So anyway, yeah, rolling out body-worn cameras, police-style handcuffs, restraints, and a trial in parva incapacitant spray. That's currently being trialled in 4 prisons. They call it parva spray. You can call it CS gas. It's similar, let me get my words out, to what the police use, like capsum spray, capsule spray, right? The thing is as well, in the interview that I did with the Prison Officers Association National Chair, Mark Fairhurst, a scumbag that works at HMP Liverpool, he stated that they've also got police coshes now as well, apparently. I've not come across them personally. I've come across the body cameras. I haven't come across the police-style handcuffs. And I haven't come across the restraints or the parva spray. But like I say, do you honestly believe if a prisoner's kicking off, right, or he's having a psychotic episode because of mental health issues, not everyone's got them, but a lot of people have, do you believe that body-worn cameras are going to stop them? Do you believe that if parva spray, yeah, it might be burning their eyes and stuff, but they'll still be swinging for the fence? That will see an increase in violence, in my opinion, as well. Our recruitment drive, this is from the MOJ, our recruitment drive is vital to ensuring prisons are safe, secure and decent, so they can successfully rehabilitate offenders. Now, so by giving prison officers body-worn cameras, police-style handcuffs, restraints, trialling parva spray, and apparently they've got police batons, according to the National Chair of the POA, Mark Fairhurst, that's going to be conducive to rehabilitate. You can't both punish and rehabilitate at the same time. It doesn't work. That's just my opinion, guys. Again, what do I know? I've only been in prison, like a lot of you people on here, or you might have loved ones that have been in prison and stuff. Just absolutely mental, guys. So yeah, it says here, so prisons are safe, secure, decent, so they can successfully even, let me put my teeth in, rehabilitate offenders. 90% of our additional 3,111 prison officers are due on the landings by the summer. Now, for the 3,111 prison officers they've recruited that are going to be like kids, pups, right? They've lost 7,000, count them, 7,000 prison officers that are very experienced and stuff, because the job's not what the prison officers are leaving the job at such a rate because it's not what they signed up for. Right? A lot of them do a very good, difficult job. A lot of prison officers that I've interacted with and spoke to, I weren't a screw boy, far from it, guys. I've never had my arse up a fucking screw's arse ever, because like I say, they're there to do a job, right? The amount of prison officers that turn into drink have been diagnosed with PTSD, and prisoners that have been diagnosed with PTSD as well through their experiences in prison and stuff, is massive. And like I say, so for your 7,000, for your 3,111 prison officers you've got recruited, you've lost 7,000 experienced staff, right? And you're bringing these young lads in, young lads and girls, right? You're seeing sexual relationships between prisoners and prison officers. Prisoners are excellent at manipulating people like that, and these prison officers, these new kids, and that's what they fucking are, kids, They're being, like I say, they're being outmaneuvered by prisoners because we're clued up, man. The prisoners are extremely good at manipulating the situation, whether it's with a loved one, girlfriend, or prison officers, right? Like I say, and it's as simple as that. So you've got young pups patrolling the landings. They don't like the job because they thought they was going to go around swinging a baton, opening doors, and that they weren't going to be met with a barrage of violence and stuff like that. Well, then they see that the job's not for them because 9 weeks training doesn't fully prepare them what goes on the wing. What happens? Staff retention's a huge problem because they leave. It's not for them. Simple as that. Right, guys, this concludes this video. Again, like, comment, subscribe. Speak to you all soon. Let me know what you think about the comments. Let me know what you think about the video in the comment section below. Sorry, guys, I'm tired. Apologies. Like, comment, subscribe, guys. Speak to you all soon. Bye.